Hello guys, I know I'm jumping out of my lane here, but I didn't make this channel just for Skyrim. I made this channel because I wanted to share things I was passionate about, and at that time, especially still, it's definitely still Skyrim, but at the moment, it's kind of in the arcane field. This show, this show is something different altogether, man. Like, it is hard to describe. It really is. It is perfection and destruction all in one. Now, I am not an animated guy, not one bit. I do like Clone Wars, that's one of my favourites. I don't watch anime. I mean, the last time I watched anime I was like 6 and it was goddamn Pokemon. And I'm a pretty well-rounded Australian dude who's 30 years old. A little personally about me, that I'm actually... I do disability support, so I work with people with disabilities. It's a fulfilling job, it's good. But Arcane has depressed me. Like, properly. Like, I know the signs of it now, because sometimes I'm good, sometimes I feel, like, lost. The other day I was working, and I had to go out and, basically went out to this pub to get a feed, and I'm sitting there looking for job opportunities, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing, dude? What are you doing? This is stupid. And I realised it was a sign of depression, like, that I thought my life wasn't good enough that I had to go change things, and this fucking show did it to me. Like, end of the day, I don't think there's ever going to be another show out there like Arcane ever again. I just don't believe there will be. I don't think there ever will be. Like, it's set such a limit where I don't think anyone can surpass it. I can't even go watch other shows anymore. I get bored. I'm pretty sure I got ADHD, right? So, like, my head's always running ideas and shit. And normally it's like, I go to the gym, I work, I come home, chores, play with the dogs, play some video games, that sort of thing. But when I'm not really doing that, I'm in the car, I'm thinking of Skyrim stories, right? I'm thinking of the stories that I do here on YouTube. How do I progress them and what kind of things I can do with them when I'm, not there? How do I make the story better for people watching it when I complete it? No, not anymore. Fucking now it's Arcane all the time. And it's brutal because this show, man, it ripped your fucking soul out, dude. It is rough. It is absolutely brutal. And I just can't get it out of my head. And I've got my story head going right now, thinking of what's going to happen next. Because at the end of the day, Christian Link, who's the co-creator of it, has said that they want to do new stories and also spin-offs. And I think the next story is going to be a spin-off, but no, not a spin-off, a new story, which will eventually lead into previous characters coming into hand. Now, what do I believe that? Let's go check something out real quick, and I'll kind of get to the idea of it at the ending of, sort of, the ending scenes of Season 2. Now, Arcane takes place in the League of Legends universe, which is Runeterra. Now, as you can see right in the middle, or smack dab of the world, is Piltover and Zorn. And Zorn is kind of connected to the southern continent, while Piltover is into the northern continent. Now, the very ending scenes of... what is it? Sorry about the horse slip. Ending scenes of Season 2 showed this crow. Now, the crow is actually a remarkable hint to a certain character that will show up that is currently the leader of Noxus. These guys right here. And they're a vasting empire that likes to conquer everything. Very much like the Fire Nation and Avatar: The Last Airbender. And as you can see, they own territory in other places like Ionia, Shurima, fuck, whatever you want to pronounce it, and other things like that. So they've conquered a lot of places. Now, as you can see, their territory pretty much bridges the Piltover territory. And with what's going on in Piltover in the current day and age, it's severely weakened from what's happened, but also extremely powerful with the technology they've got. You can bet your ass Noxus is going to want a piece of that. So, like, I'm thinking the next sort of series, the next series is going to start off with a brand new story where it very much starts like Arcane, where you've got younger versions of the characters that will take place in this story, and you're watching them, and then eventually maybe Season 1 might end on the current timeline of Arcane's timeline, where it might happen like that. So, like, the first 3 or the first 6 episodes might literally be, previous timeline, where they're, like, changing the leadership of the Noxus, and then the last 3 episodes is hearing about what's happening over in Piltover, and then, investigating it and checking it out and learning what's what so they can make an invasion. So, I think Season 3, or whatever the next series is going to be, I think it's going to be expanding upon the world. I mean, you've got plenty here to go and explore. And I think eventually Noxus is going to come knock into Piltover, which is going to involve the Arcane characters, which might involve Jinx and things like that. But dude, this show is so fucking brutal. I've seen, like, everyone that I've watched react to it just bawling at their eyes. Even therapists. Fucking therapists are crying, for crying out loud. And it hurts a lot, man. It's brought me to tears many times, even on my second run through. Like at the very end of it, when I saw V, you know, when she was forced to let go, and I saw her raw, man, I had to, like, it was an effort keeping my face together. Like, I knew I had to fucking resist bawling my eyes out, but I did. But the ending of it was so devastating in a way. It didn't feel like anyone got a win that deserved it. Sure, I'm glad Kate was there for V to kind of keep it together, but I mean, it didn't feel like a win. It felt more like you survived, and that was brutal. Alla, who was the voice actress for Jinx, did put up a lengthy emotional sort of goodbye to Jinx, sort of thing, but it's not a goodbye, because she goes closing the chapter, and a chapter isn't closing the book, it's closing a chapter. So I believe she'll be back one day for sure. Again, she can't physically allude to coming back to play Jinx because Jinx is considered dead. That's what they want you to believe. They know you know that she's alive, but they don't want you to know that she's alive, sort of thing. So she can't go. She has to pretty much say goodbye, and she says chapter because, again, a chapter is only a certain chapter in a book. It's not the last page. And we'll definitely see her again. But man, this show was. It's. I don't even know where I am right now with this video. I guess this helps me talking to people that I can't directly talk to because that's not the way that I work. I don't talk to people about my shit. I don't want to burden them with it. I can talk to an invisible field, and that just makes me feel better. And people can listen that either that will know what I'm feeling, or that sort of thing. And this is kind of how I get over it, kind of talking about it without having to talk to anybody. Because like I said, I don't like to talk to people about my shit. But this show, it did rattle my cage quite a bit. Now, it doesn't matter what age you are, man. I'm 30 years old. I'm a well-structured dude. Especially if you're like a tough motherfucker that's been through some serious shit and come out on top. This will definitely rattle your cage because this will bring back some feelings. 100%. This is designed to kind of break the toughest people. And I think that's what it does. I think that, especially one of these characters in there, they're as tough as shit and they get fucking destroyed. I really hope, man, that they at least have I hope Christian comes back after the Christmas holidays and just kind of talks about what his plans are for, maybe reveal a trailer for what's next, and maybe hint to what we could see with the previous characters, so it's not all over. Because I think the reason people are so broken on both Netflix and Reddit and Facebook pages is simply because they think it's all over. We won't see these characters again, and they were left in such a sorry state, as in it wasn't a real win for them. It was kind of a you survived the battle, but your team didn't win, sort of thing. That's what it kind of felt like. It didn't feel like you won the battle. It felt like you survived the battle. And that would be pretty good for a lot of people. But I do want to share some hope for you, that people that really loved V and Caitlyn, I don't care if it's about their characters or if it's because of their lesbians. I loved V because she was a kick-ass character that got thrown into the fucking mud and kept getting back up all the time, and that's why I loved her. Just an absolute golden heart character. This is for those that are like me that really loved those two characters together. I loved Caitlyn because she was always there for V. When V was at a rock bottom, Caitlyn was there, and that's why I love her. So let me get you to a point to where I'm going to bring you a little bit of hope, and this comes from the co-creator, Christian Link himself. Now somebody asked, will we see Caitlyn and V again? And Christian said, duh. That's a pretty basic yes. Now, this is good news because I think at the current end of the timeline in Piltover and Zana, they're the main characters. And there's still so much, man. There's still so much to explore about that place. I think Echo's main goal will be to turn Zahn into the image he saw in the alternate world. That would be his main goal, now that he thinks Jinx is dead. And I think Caitlyn's going to become the sheriff, and V's going to follow her, becoming an enforcer, or maybe rename it to the Wardens. And I don't know, man. I want Caitlyn to stay political because I want her to become the High Councillor, the one that sits in the middle of the Piltovan councils and the Zahn councillors. Because at the end of the day, now the two cities have united. We've got I forgot her name. The chick with the robot arm. She's become a council member now. Basically, Caitlyn gave her position, and we could. I don't know. There's still so much there to see what happens with Piltover and Zion, especially with the Chem Lords that will resurface and just the city itself. I don't know, but they'll obviously be back. And like I said, this helps me by talking to others about the shit that that's going through my head. Because I don't directly, like, I'll talk to you in the comments. That's cool. That's awesome. But I don't really want to talk to people about it because I don't like to burden people with my shit. Until now. Anyway, let me know what Arcane's done to you. You know, what do you think about it? Like it, dislike it, certain moments, your favourite moments, your unfavourite moments, and also, how did it leave you feeling at the end? That's kind of what I'm really interested to find out from people that have watched the series. Other than that, if you haven't watched the series, I'd recommend you don't. But I also recommend you do. And if you do, make sure you have someone. It's a proper 100 out of 10 series, 100. Like, there's nothing out there like it. Once you finish watching it, I don't think you're gonna really want to watch anything else for a while. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and get back to my life, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like I said, let me know in the comments what Arcane did to you. Catch you guys in the next vid.